Hey.
Hey. Kind of exciting. We're 15 seconds out from not even 5 seconds out from launching this week's Common Ground World build for the Salmon Panini. And here we go. I'm going to get in here and then share my screen.
Cool. Well, in the meantime, I can kind of show so kind of looking at what we're doing, I guess, I don't know if you want to give kind of a quick little overview of kind of what our build is going to look like this week. I mean, obviously, you do what you got to do getting into it and getting things set up.
Oh, what's the easiest way for me to do this? Shoot, can I guess the last time I shared my screen, we were on a voice chat.
So if you're looking at the StreamYard, if you go down to present and then share screen, either a window or a. Yeah, so we're doing something new. We're gonna try to do more game specific streams, things of that nature. We want to be, showing what we're doing, showing the games we're in. We want to be more than just, granted, this is a gala event, like this is a gala game. We want to be broadening our horizons, looking at more things, being more involved with you guys in the community. So this is the first of our, I guess maybe the second of our kind of game specific streams that we've going to be doing now.
Yeah, and right now I'm blowing things up like that. This is going to be, I probably could have done that faster, but there's a specific pattern that I'm looking for to build with right now. I want to have roads in place to set up certain buildings. We're focusing right now on a cash rush, not necessarily a final build. We will talk about today's final build in a little bit because ultimately you want to be getting some of those buildings in place as fast as possible. But in the meantime, there's other things that I want to have in place just so that I can make money to build the more expensive buildings. So anyone that didn't know that already, there you go. And if you did know that already, I'm sorry that I stated the obvious.
Well, and it's cool that, the build structure we're going with is based on the community, the Moth community specifically, and, essentially leaning on those people to say, hey, what's your idea for what build we should try to do this week? Or, fitting with this competition, fitting with this event, what build do you think is going to be best? These are the pool of NFTs we can pull from. This is kind of what we have access to. We want to hear your ideas.
Yeah, this time around, Perry, who goes by Perry DigiArts in a lot of places, he's Perry Town in the Moth server because, we all make vanity names for the servers that fit the profile. But he's provided me with a pretty cool build. We got some awesome potential here. Milk, he says, is going to be the real hang-up. What am I looking for? All the way down. Oh, we can do that one right there. Where'd it go? This is one of the problems of buying NFTs for games. You end up with a whole lot of NFTs. I'm going to have to move that, actually.
Well, and especially when you're looking at something like it's like a rush type activity when you're trying to get things done as quickly as possible. And
it doesn't help that I can't walk and chew gum at the same time either. I'm sitting here trying to talk to everybody and losing track of what I was trying to do. Now, if I have this full screen, and I might do that, for some reason the tab to scroll down vanishes. So I have to.
Weird. You have to manually.
Can you see that over here? How it's just this little sliver. I like it. Normally on the full screen, I don't have to worry about that. But in this case, it's terrible. I have to. I'm probably gonna pop out and then pop back in just so I can full screen it. What am I looking for? I was looking for this. And let's see if we can find. I'll just get it going with. Where are you? There it is. So every week you get new NFTs for like whatever reason, you know, whether you've bought them or they give away a lot of storage NFTs each week. No. And if you've gotten a new NFT, it kind of shunts everything a little bit further down.
Yeah.
Place that it was last week, it's not there this week.
You think about like quality of life improvements, you know, being able to hopefully have like filters, you know, better sorting, you know, things of that nature would make it, you know, it'd make it easier.
We've asked them to at least make a tab for, what am I doing? At least make a tab for storages, like just a separate tab that they fall into. But the response, and rightfully so, has been that they need to be heads down on getting these features in place. Now I'm going to back out and come in full screen so that it's not quite so. Update town online, return to main menu, and then actually it doesn't even work that way. I'm going to jump out and go back into the Gala site itself. When you launch from the Gala site, it immediately goes full screen for me. At least that's, and it didn't that time. Why not? I wonder if it's because we're streaming. That's interesting. Let me see if I can just full screen with the.
Interesting.
F11, not doing it.
So there's no F11 or something that.
Let's see how this does this time. I'm praying, but I think we're still stuck with that little sliver, which is not helpful. Let's go in there. No, we got it. Okay, so nice. it is the StreamYard thing. It just condensed it and gave a little margin. So that's cool.
I think it's because it borders your window or whatever, naturally being like, oh, you're sharing this.
So, yeah. What is being shared? I'm staring at this game, so I don't know. Is it showing the tabs at the top on my browser or no?
Nope, it's just the town star screen.
Okay,
or the Common Ground world.
That's convenient. All right, so I put that first candy cane item down. That's the legendary Lolly and Pop Shop. They recently released, last Halloween, I guess, these Halloween items that if you place all 4 of them, they make your candy canes faster.
Whoa, okay.
Like among other things, you know.
Yeah.
The Lolly and Pop Shops, it was for making candy corn initially, but they targeted the shop and not the product, and so my candy cane production kind of jumps up. I'm looking for it. There it is. And then the other one is closer to the top. So let's get there. There it is. Wheel of Nightmares. So those 4 together cause this Lolly and Pop Shop to freak out essentially.
Okay.
So right now,
what are you going for right now? What's your strategy? What are we doing? What are we looking at?
So I need to make sugar in order to make candy canes. This Diamond Charge Station is providing passive energy here. The combination of the Diamond Charge Station and the rare Tesla coil, this provides the 5 energy that this needs. This down here is a corrupted peppermint stand that it provides 6 passive peppermint, so it's got a range.
Yeah.
This needs 3 peppermint, but it's within that range so that it gets everything it needs. So all I need to do is make sugar, and then I can make candy canes.
Nice. Okay.
So I get started with just these sugar stations because they do it for free essentially, and then I move on to the other things that can help the build. I want to add more I want to add windmills that are going to create more sugar, so I have to clear some space for those. And I slap enough roads down. I've done this a number of times, and there may be some way that's slightly more efficient, but I really enjoy the feel of it being built this particular way, and so I've just gone ahead with that over and over again. One of the other things that I managed to pick up over time were these elf bots. Wait, there we go. They switched sides on me. Elf bots will just move sugar around your map. They just love picking up sugar and taking it. So
extra workers.
Yeah, but if you watch, they go pretty quickly. Oh, one of the things that I'm forgetting to put down is the thing that makes everybody move faster. That came out recently, the medieval tavern. So like apparently when people have the opportunity to drink at liberty, they will just get things done a little bit quicker. So
that's awesome. Is that like supposed to be like a Miranda's kind of themed? I mean, it makes me feel.
It definitely has
vibes.
some Miranda's-y stuff going on there. So
I like it. Well.
Oh, yeah, I forgot my skins. Let's turn some skins on. I can apply all my skins right there. Did it do? Yeah. So now all of those have been applied, but I also have these other things to apply. These ghost cards and blueprints and things like that. These are things that some of these I won't need this time. I will definitely need the barns because milk is going to be a problem. We got 2 windmill cards.
What do these do?
They're just boosts to speed, like productivity for certain things. I don't know if I'll need the Grand Oaks, but we'll do that. Bulky storehouse is nice because it gives my storehouse extra space to work in. We need the glistening mixer for making rice, and I think it's just rice this time. I only have 2 of these luxury packs, or like the corrupted luxury packs. You can have up to 10 of them, or at least the effects of up to 10 of them. It was noticeably different. Last week, Vidvi sent me some of his, and because he was the one that built the town last week, and our productivity jumped. Wow, it was like 10%. Like even though it was an 8% boost, it jumped better than that. We were able to move a lot faster. Unfortunately, we didn't do it in time to actually catch up to the top 25, but I think that's all we're going to need this time around. We won't need that. Okay, so you can see they're moving a little bit faster. Things are progressing. Now this storehouse, I'm just going to get rid of it so they stop taking the sugar over there. I want them to take it there. Usually don't have to worry about that, but I forgot to blow up the storehouse. What? No. So one of the things you have to do when you're making something is to sell it. I start with an express depot just because they give us gas. And it's also, you only have to sell 10 when you sell by the express depot. So that's quick money. But there's a lot of gas in there. So what I'm going to do is I'll poke it down here so it's not so ridiculously out of the way. You can also sell by dragon load if you've got one. And where'd they go? There they are. Dragons, you need 25 of a product in order to sell it, but they give us 40 gas, so just sell that right away to get some extra cash in hand. Then I can do things like blowing up this rock that costs 32,000 with the bonuses that I've got from fireworks and stuff. Again, I don't even have all the fireworks. I've just kind of limited selections of some of the stuff, especially like the Christmas time stuff. I really didn't pay attention a lot of the past Christmas holidays because I was busy doing Christmas. And this seems silly duplicating these roads, but I need that second bank of empty spaces for windmills here.
Oh, for the proximity side of things, so it's not.
Well, so normally a windmill, it casts 3 shade,
yep.
And if it's in shade, it slows it down dramatically. But one of the really handy NFTs that I've picked up is the the beacon of light, and the beacon of light removes all shade or wind block effects on squares in a. It's supposed to be a radius 3, but it's got funky corners, so it gives you a whole bunch of space to cram stuff into that would normally like slow each other down, and it won't. So I'm right now looking for these. These are the Epic Simplex sugarcane stands. I'm going to slap one there, and I'm going to slap one right there, and then the beacon of light is close to the top. There. So these guys go right here. Now, all of these spaces here, all of these spaces here, it doesn't matter if they would normally be receiving shade. They won't because of the beacon. Now, doing some things a little bit out of order. There's wood getting crammed into there. If you want to build something, you need either a builder or one of these guys. We'll put a couple of them down just so they can get it done fast. Oops, get out of there. When they switched from when they switched to each tile being a 4x4, allowing for like slightly offset things, you kind of have to be careful when you're putting things down because you might accidentally offset it and then
just a teeny bit.
Yeah, and then you make it complicated to put anything else down.
Yeah.
I also need a bigger place to store wood, so we're going to go with this luxury woodshed. We put this right here. So this guy he's gotten enough wood to be produced. He's going to get here, and right away he's going to have the passive sugarcane from these sugarcane stands to be able to get going. And I'm going to start moving a little bit faster, I think, hopefully. Just slap things down and get them going.
Yeah, because we're not necessarily doing this to be like, oh, we're doing this like live stream, this little podcast right now, just to basically
straight up, we are not the best. I mean, there are easily a dozen people that will always beat me, and then sometimes if I've got the exact, that's not what I need. If I've got the exact right NFTs, I can crack into the top 10. That does happen sometimes, but very rarely. It's usually when it's like a cake meta of some sort, especially things like decorated cakes, because again, I have this crazy candy cane rush, so I can just build those candy canes for the decorated cake right into it right off the bat. And anyway, so I was always a fan of my first builds were sugar spam back in 2020 and early 2021, and then when things started getting more complex, I really started to arrange my collection around the idea of just being able to make as many cakes as possible. I had some real success at some of the early May Mayhems with I was able to take second in one of them. I never hit first place, but I've had second, third a couple times, definitely top 5 a few times. And all of this has been because of the cake aspect of things. I do have NFTs that go in all other directions too, but nothing is as concentrated as cake. So even today, those NFTs can help me kind of launch up and sometimes claim a top 10 spot. So in this case, a lot of the NFTs for this build, or a lot of the products for this build, lend themselves to the NFTs that I have. So so we could do well here. I'm expecting, if I actually get my act together, I'm expecting a top 25, but I need to increase the amount of wood we're producing. So I slapped down Hatchet Hank, who is, he kind of redefined the game when he came out, because it's essentially the closest thing to passive wood that they've released, because he just moves so darn fast and he makes other people move fast.
I was wondering, I was like, I didn't see you put down any lumberjacks, but
yep, Hatchet Hank went down, and that changed the game right there. So I'm going to put these down, and he's going to start moving. They also sold what's Hank Jr., and Hank Jr. isn't quite as dominant, but he's really effective. So I got honestly, the most most problematic part of this is clearing off these meadows in order to be able to put stuff down. Like that's something that as I was kind of gearing my mind up for doing this, I was something I wanted to talk about, that would be a quality of life thing to find
clear.
Well, I don't know how they would do it. It's such a minor speed bump in the grand scheme of things, that it's just not. It doesn't make sense to do it anymore. Not with like, even if you don't have a huge collection of NFTs, they're regularly making things in such a way that that you can just, you can just get your town going so much faster that to take the time to clear off, like to painstakingly click these buttons in order to move this stuff out of the way. It's more of just it's the way it's always been kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so they haven't really come up with a better way at this point. And again, a lot of it comes back to the fact that they're developing the guild structure. They're working on the main things are guild structure, daily challenges, and then upgradable NFTs. They have to get those three things out of the way before they feel confident enough to like spend any time trying to do other things. So I'm starting to get
like, I'm not,
yeah.
Like we need to see, I think the guild, we talked about it in the Gal Gazette yesterday, but I think, the guild structure, the lending pool, like within your guilds, things of that nature. And I think it has a lot of potential to, I don't know. It bums me out because it's a cool game. Like the game itself isn't a bad game by any means. It looks good. Like the basis of it makes sense. Like I just think the recent kind of execution has held it back.
I think we'll need to kind of reserve judgment until we can finally see the guilds in action, and then interested in the economic balance once dirt starts being generated. Those things are important for us to keep our eyes on. I was starting to produce a whole lot of sugar. Those windmills, they're spinning pretty fast. Each of these windmills, you can see, as someone comes back with wood for this guy, we'll see exactly how long it takes. Here, let's see what 22 seconds to make one sugar from each of these. So why am I thinking there should be more? But anyway,
moving.
Yeah, so the sugar production was increasing, so I brought out these other guys to start making more candy canes. These are the rare Lolly and Pop Shops. I have 3 of those and 1 legendary. I also have 2 of the uncommons that if I really maximize my sugar production, sometimes I need one of those these days. It used to be that I needed both of them, but as soon as this whole set came out, their productivity increased so much that it was kind of a waste of time to oh wait, let me sell some sugar. How about that? Or some candy canes. So we got candy canes building up. I wonder if I was blowing things up. I probably was, because I'm not paying attention. Usually I don't use the Supreme storehouse. I use the big storehouse there, so I wasn't thinking. So we'll sell until we don't have any more gas. I'm actually going to sell a load of gas here in a second. We'll get another guy down there doing it since we have him.
So what is your, I guess, you made the point, like, this isn't necessarily the end game build. This is kind of the cash rush build. So I guess what is going to be the, right now we're just kind of showing the rush, just talking, just being
this is the slowest rush I've ever done.
Well, you're multi, you're walking and chewing gum. It makes it harder.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad at that. I'm gonna need to practice. Yeah, so today we're building salmon paninis. So there's a number of different things that go into that. We're going to start needing, like, this whole row up here is going to be full of brine in order to make salt apparently salt is a real problem. And then we're going to be putting down here a bunch of milk production. So the milk and the salt will go together to make butter. We're going to also be producing flour. Where do I have my? Okay, so now that we've got our productivity going on, I'm gonna start selling some candy canes automatically from the dragon here.
I remember when the auto sell feature came out.
That was really convenient. We're thankful for that.
The big one.
Yeah, I won't go into how bad I am with tech. Scripts were kind of daunting to me. I was like very, very leery, very scared of like trying to get into that because I didn't know. I didn't know like what the potential was for me to be compromised with things like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm even wary of doing like certain like mod things and stuff, playing like a Web 2 game, let alone, you know, writing scripts or things that can touch real valued assets that I own. You know, it's a whole nother layer of.
Thankfully, we do have some people in the community that can be trusted, and there was I was able to use Groove's cell script for a while. That saved me some painful evenings and nights not getting any sleep. Because when you're operating at a level where you have the potential to take top 10, top 5, you know, like you just want to make sure everything's perfect, and it's worth it because the payouts are sometimes really huge. But it really trashes your body not getting any sleep. I've had lots of nights like that though. We play our games hard here at GG Collective.
Oh yeah. If you ain't first, you're last, right? That's Ricky Bobby.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun.
So again, lots of stuff to clear out here. I want to eventually get down into this corner and start putting down some buildings to begin the milk production. I want my my ranchers over here, which means I'm gonna actually I should get that started ASAP. I want my ranchers over here. I need to put in some more trees. We're gonna do it like this. So I'm putting these roads down like this, kind of because I know where the beacon hits. The beacon makes it so that this does not have any shade right here. This space here does have shade, and so does this one. Okay. But then these don't have shade, so I can put trees in that spot, or in those spots rather, and they'll grow at their max timers. Oh, that's why it's not. I forgot to put them. Forgot to put a fountain down for those other two. Where'd you go, fountain? There it is. So this is the Majestic Alpha Fountain. That's one of the early referral rewards that we were able to get. Actually, nobody ever takes my referral code, so I had to buy those from somebody back in the day. But if you got 100 different referrals, like 100 unique referrals, you qualified for. Was it 100? No, it was more than that. It was like 1,000 referrals for the Majestic. So anyway, you had to get a lot of referrals to get the Majestic, and at
that point, so you basically have to be an influencer.
Well, yes, but a lot of them went to people that just massively multi-accounted. They just like set up these multi-account farms, got a whole lot of different email addresses. So sadly, a lot of that was very scammy. Because there's quite a few of those in the wild. Now they did also, one of the ones that I got came through the Snoop stash boxes when they did they did 2 random distributions of NFTs based on the number of stash boxes you held, and I got a really nice grab with one of the Majestic fountains there, but the other 2 I had to purchase back in the day. Now, again, like my timing, thankfully, was really good there. I got them when things were still not, they hadn't even released Play to Earn yet. So we were always jockeying for the right price, and then looking back, you're like, it didn't matter if I gave the guy an extra $5 for that thing.
Yeah.
Its value was kind of secured when, well, just when the bull run hit. Everything just went wild. And thankfully, those guys weren't taking Gala tokens for that. They wanted like USDT.
Had a little foresight, maybe.
Well, in that case, like it worked out poorly for them. If they would have accepted Gala tokens,
Oh yeah, they would have hit the
ridden
wall
it up
then.
from 200ths or 300ths of a cent. They would have had a much better turnover for that, or much better profit for it. But who's thinking that way? Definitely not a flipper. They're thinking about how fast they can turn it into new cash. So
exactly. Well, that's even just kind of on a totally different side note. I saw someone talking about, one of the problems with, potentially using crypto as a regular currency is like, okay, well, what if you buy something with $20 worth of this, and then 2 days later, the price jumps and you lost out on, potentially X money. And yeah, I see that, but at the same time, you could make the same argument for, any dollar you don't have in a savings account or something like that. I'm like, you can't be too. I don't know. There's always something you could be doing with your money, right?
100%. Like if you're savvy, you can be moving your money around all the time and benefiting from that. But I'm not that good. Most people aren't that good. A lot of people think they're that good and then end up not being that good. So we have to be honest with ourselves about just what our capabilities are, how much time we have available to ourselves to play around with these things. And then just, I don't know, a lot of times it's just a good idea to hold, right?
I'm a holder over everything. I feel like I just end up like, I'll pack my little bag and I'm like, I guess I'm sitting for a little bit. By the way, let me throw this up just so no one gets confused. This is not financial advice.
Oh, thank you.
We're not telling you to, necessarily come play the game. We're not telling you that you should be buying anything. We're not, we are just showing you our little land rush, and we're here to have a good time and just start putting our faces in front of you guys more. So, not financial advice.
I think I'm going to spin this sideways so he doesn't have to walk as far. All right, so the next big deal is to start to think about where the last buildings need to go in. So one of the things that I can get going right away is salt. Unfortunately, many of the final locations for things for salt are going to be like right here. So I'm not too worried about getting salt production underway. These candy canes generate a lot of money very fast. But if I orient it this way, this is where a lot of my this is the orientation of that virtualizer layout that I'm working with. This was engineered by Perrytown. He and I talked about it earlier. We have some things that we're gonna shift around. He gave me a whole lot of flexibility there. He said it looks like there's about 9 open spaces because milk is such a bottleneck. But what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to build it his way, exactly his way to start. We'll get the roads in place. I'm not going to pave these roads right off the bat because especially down in this corner, he was even encouraging me to mess around with milk production in order to see if there was anything more we could squeeze out of it. So I needed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we start cutting over. No, one more. And then we start cutting over. There we go. Did look like that. All right, so I'm going to just leapfrog this fountain because it's in the way. But we're going to want to get these this space full of milk production. We're going to do things like you need your feed mills and your troughs for the feed in order for the cows to be able to get what they need in order to start producing milk. But you also need, back in this corner, we're going to put a bunch of things like we're gonna skip ranchers and just go right to ATVs. That's why I started the lumber process there.
Okay.
Yeah, like at a certain point, you don't bother doing the incremental, not troop, but unit improvements. You just go right for it. I do want to move these things though, because we can wait on that. It's not a big deal. I'll put my first rant. Nope. I almost did it to myself.
Not rancher.
We'll put our first ATV. What are you doing? Right here. Now, this is something that it's just such a benefit owning these NFTs. And I'm not trying to like rub it in. I'm not trying to make anybody feel like they need to go get them. But because of these NFTs, I don't need to actually make energy.
I was just gonna say you can just give yourself temporary passive energy.
Yep. And that's such a benefit. Like I don't have to consider where I'm gonna like make it from. I don't, every once in a while it's a good idea for me to just make some energy and get it done that way, so I don't have to blow other buildings up in the process. But I work really hard to position my buildings, get them in place without needing to make any energy, just to have them just have the passive energy take care of all that. So
you don't need it there the whole time.
No, I can lift those as soon as it starts at the actual craft timer or the actual build timer. I can lift those and move them somewhere else and start another one. I need my legendary wheat stand. There it is. 5 right there. The wheat stands no longer require roads. They made that adjustment a while back. Where? I don't see where the medieval tavern's supposed to go. Maybe I can just go in one of those spaces. We didn't care about.
Find it.
I'm gonna move it out of the way though. Oh no, it's actually not too far away. It's
oh yeah, I see where it's supposed to go.
It's tucked just off the road.
Just north of your ATVs.
Yeah, let me finish this road pattern out so that I can.
Just so you guys all can get an idea again of what we're looking at. This was. I guess, do you want to? So, essentially, you are just going into the Moth community. You're saying, hey, who wants to help, build the town for this competition? And it's kind of a random selection on who's you end up going with.
Spin a wheel. Yeah, the idea is to kind of make it interesting for me. I've got so many things to do. Like we're building the GG Collective, right? I love to do this kind of content. We have the podcast. We're looking at just harvesting ideas and gathering people together to make the blockchain gaming space just more just to facilitate it and to make it more community oriented again. We've got a lot of great pocket communities. There are some that are just like diehards for their specific project, but the truth is, like, the entire idea is amazing. And so if we can start to encourage adoption just because we're having so much fun with it, I think that's our best technique. And so to have my eyes on those things and to like have other games that I'm either diving into or playing regularly, Townstar, setting up the build for a Townstar town week in, week out when they're shifting the meta all the time, it's kind of grueling.
It's
So to
a
say the
lot of
least,
work. Yeah.
yeah. So
Well, there's a ton
I
of
would,
thought, like deep thought that has to go into it. Like it's not a I don't know. You look at other metas that exist in other types of games. Like it's not like you're just like swapping attachments on a gun or something. It's like, okay, how do I restructure this entire system to be as efficient as possible? Doing math. Like there's actual
yeah.
things that go into it.
Well, and so what I noticed is that, like, unless it was something that I was either already really familiar with, or something that, again, sort of had enough similarities to what I was already doing that I could just kind of adapt an old build, I just stopped playing. And you can see this collection of NFTs that it's like, why wouldn't you be using NFTs? You know what? They shifted the fancy barns, didn't they? Where did they end up? Anyway, so I like it was kind of shameful in my mind that I was not using these NFTs, and yet we didn't have like we that may they're there that may change over time where we have an opportunity to put these things into the library. Um, is she gonna go collect? Oh, she's getting wood. Okay. Um, so the library is going to make things interesting again, but it hasn't been in place for the entire time that Townstar's been around, and now Common Ground World. So either I could like let somebody like give somebody the password to my account, which I don't really like to do, especially not
No,
with
you
this
shouldn't.
kind of a collection.
Yeah.
Or I just like let them sit there. And again, like I said, it just seemed like a terrible shame. So it was kind of remarkable that it took me 3 or 4 years to suddenly stumble on this idea. But it was like I could just ask if anyone wants to put together a build for this, and if they do, I can just split the earnings with them. And so we've the agreement is that it's a third. So this week, Perry, depending on how his build finishes, even if I do tweaking, it's like he's provided the framework that I have to operate from, and he's done a lot of the thinking for me. So he gets a third of whatever the final output of this town is. So if we take top 25, that'll be great. That'll be 11,000 Gala tokens, and I like to round up, so I won't give any kind of specific numbers. But if you get a chance to win the wheel spin and build the town, you'll see. And this is all like this is all just friendly stuff too.
Yeah.
Like we haven't written a contract or anything like that for this. Like it's definitely still trust based, but like I hope I can prove myself trustworthy. That's a great way to like make friends and.
Oh yeah. Well, and I think you should be able to. I mean, it kind of sucks we're at a point in the world where you can't do many things just based on trust anymore. The fact that you have to have a contract for sometimes the most simple menial types of things. Like if we can build a community that obviously we want things to be built legitimately, we want to make sure we're, safeguarding ourselves, safeguarding, those in the community. But being able to, be like, hey, we want to provide opportunities to you guys to come in and help us build. We don't want to do all the work sometimes. Like you said, there's so many things going on and it's only growing. Like especially when you look at something like the collective, like there's going to be so many other projects, so many other games, that we're going to be getting exposure to. So it's not realistic to have one person trying to figure it all out. So being able to lean on the community for, okay, what is the best output? Like what should we be going for? What do we need to do? Yeah, you did that work. We're going to provide you some benefit for doing it.
Yeah, we kind of touched on that yesterday in the Gala Gazette when we were talking about the gamer. Your time is valuable. Like if you're going to put your time into playing a game, you're sacrificing time that you could otherwise be doing something that would earn you money somewhere, or at least like prepare you in a way. It could be education or whatever. There are things that you can be doing with your time, and yet we just as people we need some downtime too. But blockchain gaming presents a situation where your downtime doesn't have to be something that you're sacrificing for. Your downtime can be enjoyed and productive if it's if you understand what you're doing. If I can sit here and actually enjoy building this town, because I can tell you that getting other people involved in this has actually resuscitated my interest in this game. It'll be one of those things where all of a sudden I like building something that I didn't want to build before because this guy did it. It's going to benefit him and it's going to benefit me. But it's ultimately the cooperation aspect of this is the thing that really inspires me. We're working together in order to make it happen. And for me, again, I was just not playing at all. And so it was money on the table. So the fact that I'm getting inspired to play and other people are able to benefit simultaneously, that's ideal in my mind. It looks like we're building up sugar again. So I do need that other lolly and pop shop.
Oh, what that other rare? Yeah.
Yeah, it's an uncommon, but yeah. So we'll put that down and get it going. So that should mellow things out there. Oh, we already started producing the milk. I need the spot for that. I'm gonna. Man, he's got that way. I'm gonna say I want to put it right here. Actually, so let's put it there. 2 in. Yeah, we're gonna do that. So they released an amazing number of different storages, and when they released the corrupted packs, these luxury storages came out. These are specific, only milk will go in here, and it'll prioritize that for milk until it's full.
Yeah.
And so what you can do is you can just come in here and say, well, actually, I'm not even going to do it because I think we're going to get to the point where milk is such a bottleneck that it'll just tear through those. But yeah, so you can see that I'm already starting to look towards end game. We're building out milk. I'm going to come over here and start building out things for the salmon. I'm going to start converting some of these windmills over to producing flour and salt. I have the salt station, but again, the salt stations are supposed to end up over here. So I'm just I'll work them in slowly. Maybe I could put one down right there. I think that's 1, 2, 3. Nope, it's these 3 spots right here. They want the salt stations. Not that it matters. I could tweak later. But that's really what we wanted to show you. Just kind of getting started, getting going. You have to have something that you're making money on. Some of these are pretty exciting. These are NFTs that there are some people that own them, but some of them are so limited that you can't. One of them, well, not here. This is the granddaddy NFT right here that our team from Galaverse that cracked the scavenger hunt day 2, the golden egg. This is going to go in this time because you need eggs to make dough. That gives 4 passive eggs. You can see the little modifiers on the base. It's 4 passive eggs. There's only one of them in the world. And you're looking at it. So that's fun.
Bonus, yeah.
Baby. So there you go. Anybody that hasn't seen it before, that's what it is. That's what it looks like in game. It
because it's the only one.
Top, it doesn't have the chicken on top like it does in the image for the NFT.
Yeah,
it's it definitely has the 4 egg output. So I've used that again. That was one of the reasons I concentrated on cakes so much. That that's a whole facet of the game that I could ignore. I didn't have to produce any eggs, and everybody else did. So that gave me a leg up. So
Love it.
anyway, yeah. So just kind of a quick overview of Rush and talking about the idea of transitioning to Endgame. Sorry, it's so sloppy. Again, this is a meta that I've never. Well, none of us has ever done it before, but I didn't prepare for, like, because as far as the testing in the off days of the week. But I do have something to work from. I do have a build to work from, and we'll get to our end game hopefully within the next couple hours. I think we could. This is a simpler build, so I think we can make that happen.
Well, and I think maybe we'll put out like a little kind of Twitter thread, kind of explaining, what it is we're doing, how you can participate in, being a part of the potential wheel spins, to help build at these towns and give us ideas.
Honestly, the wheel spin thing is real simple. If you go into the MOF server, I regularly make sure you get yourself the Town Star tag. Oops, that's not where that goes. Make sure you get yourself the Town Star tag. I will tag the Town Star, the people with the Town Star role, and I'll just let them know that, hey, here's the post. Give me a thumbs up if you want to be in the spin, and then I close out the spin at a certain time. I'll let you know when it's going to happen, and whoever has their name on that gets on the wheel, and one person gets picked each week. So it's kind of pretty simple. Pretty simple.
All right, guys. Yeah. Make sure you're letting us know what games, you're wanting to see. We're going to start, kind of exploring some other ecosystems, making sure we're tapping into the communities that are there. So if there's other things you want to see us dive into. It might be our first time diving into it, but hey, maybe that's even more fun to watch us just fumble around and mess it all up. So
I'd really love to hear some of the commentary from people that know what they're doing. They're like,
"Oh, it'd be hilarious." I think that in itself is a hilarious show.
Have like a Mystery Science Theater 3000 of all the foolish things that Family Man was up to.
Yeah. Well, all right, everybody. We appreciate anyone who is here for being here. Make sure you're join the MOF Discord, join the Gal Collective Discord to, keep up to date with all the things we're doing and give us your ideas on what you want to see next.
Thanks a bunch, guys.
See you, everybody.